So you've received a FosTech Mach rail. Depending on which series you have, you'll have a different bolt hole location, and probably a different torque spec on depending on which one you have. Included in your Mach rail set will be assembly instructions, a parts bag with the appropriate hardware, and a barrel nut. To install your FosTech Mach rail, you'll need an appropriate sized crow's foot. You'll torque your barrel nut. You'll want a reaction rod for your barrel. You'll need an Allen key for your clamp nut bolts and your rail clamp bolts. Before we install our rail, we'll want to remove our old barrel, old gas tube, and rail, whatever you got, strip it down to nothing at the muzzle end. You'll want to put your upper onto a reaction rod. And we recommend you take some general purpose grease or whatever your favorite grease is and put some around the barrel and apply some to your upper threads. This will help you achieve appropriate torque values when you go to torque the barrel nut. Put the two together. You will take your supplied barrel nut, thread it on by hand. And with our aluminum barrel nuts, you'll want to torque them to 40 to 50 foot-pounds. With your barrel nut torqued on, you'll now want to install your gas block and gas tube. Before you install your handguard, you might want to install your muzzle device depending on the length of your handguard or the muzzle device you're using. It may be easier just to do it beforehand, and may be easier for you to do it after. Whatever is easier for you. With everything pre-assembled here, you'll want to take your Mach rail, guide that on there. Once you get to the barrel nut, you may need a little bit more force. We do now knurl the barrel nuts, so it does create a little bit more friction when you go to put that on there. But this will help keeping the rail from sliding forward during use. Next, you'll want to take your barrel clamp nut right side. It has a little pocket for your barrel clamp bolt to go into. So that socket cap will sit flush inside of it once you're installed. You'll take the tube, feed it through the right hand side of the gun as if you were behind the muzzle. Push those through the rail. Take your left hand nut. It just has threads flush to the end. Hold those nuts together. And as you saw, the bolt came back out. That's fine. We're just going to start threading that in. And this does not help clamp the barrel in any way. Maybe a clamp nut, but really is just keeping it from going forward and backwards. As you can see, it's just a rod to stop it from going forward and backwards here. So, finger tight is good. Sometimes you may need to do a little more, do a little less. Finger tight's good. Now, you'll want to take your rail clamp bolts. Get those started here. Typically, I will get them touching first. Then we'll worry about torquing them. And again, on this new style rail, we'll want to torque it to 22 inch-pounds. Doesn't necessarily matter which one you do first. I typically do the one towards the muzzle first. Get about halfway through the torque spec, stop. We'll move to the other one about halfway. And then we'll go ahead and finish off that front one. Move to the back. Finish that till you get your click. If you want to double check, feel free. Sometimes you'll torque too far if you keep doing that. Because you're pulling one side and then you're pulling the other. It'll just keep going further and further even though you're pulling the same torque spec. So, once your gap is even, you're good to go. You don't want these bolts to go past where it's threaded. You definitely over torque then. You're probably going to pull threads. These are steel nuts into a magnesium aluminum rail. So just be mindful of that. You don't want these touching each other, but you also don't want it so far apart that your rail starts sliding off as you're shooting and you're gripping it real tight, pushing it forward. After those are torqued, you're good to go. In our Mach series of handguards, you have a Mach 1, a Mach 2, a Mach 3, and a Mach 4. On the Mach 1, I would recommend, more than likely with your muzzle device, you'll want to install that before you install the rail. If you're installing a 10-inch handguard on a 10-inch barrel or a 16-inch handguard on a 16-inch barrel, this will be so far forward with the spikes or the barricade stops that you'll have a really hard time trying to torque whatever muzzle device you have. So I recommend just trying to install that first if possible. And no matter which Mach 1, 2, 3, 4 that you install, all the steps will be the same. Torque values will be the same depending on which new or old. Other than that, installation instructions are the same. On your FosTech Mach rail, we've got a couple of different style of attachments points here. This is going to be your Picatinny. So your rail sections here, this is what we are calling a Picatinny rail. So on a Mach 1, you've got a couple on the front, couple in the back, all along the top side. On the Mach 4, you've got Picatinny's rails on all four sides. A Mach 2 and a Mach 3 will have just Picatinny along the top. And if you have an older style Mach 2, this will just have Picatinny up in the front. Now, as far as M-LOK is your squared section here. That is where you're going to mount your M-LOK accessories. A Mach 2, Mach 3, have it on 3 of the 4 sides are covered in M-LOK sections with a top rail of Picatinny. Your Mach 4 is all Picatinny on all 4 sides, and in between there is not M-LOK. These are just rounded surfaces to reduce weight and increase airflow. Those are not mounting points, so keep that in mind. On your Mach 1, again, you've got all your Picatinny on every side, and then you've got your M-LOK on 3 sides, and maybe consider a little more than 3 sides, considering we're at the top, but you have a little bit of both worlds on this one. And on your Mach 1, you do have QD sling points. So if you have a push button sling, you could mount the front end of your sling here for a 2-point connection. So you can do your front here, back on your back end plate, or even on the tomahawk stock. So you've got QD on both sides and the bottom.